Yeah, so I was contacted by a previous customer, and I brought Justin along with me today and to film this because I knew there was going to be foundation problems. So as we start walking up here, we see some separation of the driveway. There's probably no steel in the concrete, and there could be some expansive clay soils. So then as we opened up the garage, we saw this pretty big crack that goes in about probably 20 feet.
Yeah, I think it's
So,
massive.
and we can get a closer look as we go inside. And then Justin and I were walking around, then we observed some expansive clay soils right in here. So this is all due to the dry conditions that we've had in Southern California for many years now. So then we walked right around here and saw this obtrusive looking tree, and it is
It's
totally
massive.
pushing the root system against the wall, and it's probably undermining the house. So in my proposal that I give to the client, that's going to be part of it, is to remove that, and we're going to have to stabilize this area, which is I'll show you why in a minute. So then we walk in here, and one of the things Justin and I noticed right off the bat was that fireplace. And I've started drawing up my repair plan already. That's my laptop over there. And then we have this big crack, and this is one of those things where this is a telltale sign that there's either some sort of lifting from that root, and there's some settlement on this and leaning on this fireplace. So we came over here and we noticed that there was ripping all on the wall and the ceiling as well. So the elevations, I took a few elevations, and with the zip level, it's like a topography inside the house. So you set a 0 point, and wherever that 0 point is, you base off those elevations, the other elevations from that. So we zeroed out here, and it went down about 7/10 of an inch. So, and it was only within 7 feet. So it dropped 1/10 every foot. An engineer doesn't want it to drop 5/10 of an inch within 10 feet. And this is doing 7/10 of an inch within 7 feet. This isn't the worst house I've seen, but it definitely has foundation problems. We walk in here to some of the back rooms, and there's a few cracks here. This is a good thing for homeowners to look for. Windows and doors are weak points. Also, there's some ripping on the wall. So we can keep going back out because some of these other rooms aren't as bad as that. But there's a few things I want to show you as far as the footing and this concrete out here. So there was no steel put in the concrete. We put rebar every 12 to 18 inches, sometimes both ways, to really beef up concrete when we pour it now. But obviously when they did this house, they did not have that. I can point to almost 90% of the houses I look at have no drainage or poor drainage problems. So there's no rain gutters, there's flat dirt next to the footing, and you always want it to slope 2% away from the house. So when you get a heavy rain, water's just really gonna sit here instead of flow away. So be careful of the barbecue. Here's another good one here. I see this on every house with foundation problems,
Yeah.
more or less. Some up top. Then you go here, and there's some sort of separation from the footing. Then there's poor drainage here as well. Then you get along here, and there's a really bad crack where the stucco's separating, and this is mainly due to poor drainage. Here's another tree right next to the foundation. Never a good idea. then Justin and I were looking at this fireplace and we noticed it's separating from the wall with the flashing pulling away. But then, if you can zoom in there, see that, you could see where the flashing and the fireplace are separating away from the wall. And we noticed that because down here it's almost flush with the wall. These are made to where that should have been flush or just out a little bit to keep the water away. But here's more evidence of the expansive clay soils. So with this particular residence, I believe we're gonna just stabilize the residence, have that removed, and then push piers on this fireplace. And then we're also gonna repair that footing. And then let's do one more thing, go in the garage. But this house is within about 1.2 inches. So we're gonna stabilize, not necessarily lift this house. So we will continue on and we'll go look at this big crack in the garage. So what I always do, I always take about 15 to 20 pictures for my on my jobs, just so our crew knows exactly where the problems are. And one way I do this, and I've done this since I've been in this business, 8 years ago, is I always put a bill, next to a crack, just so we can understand what the size of it is, the separation. This has lifted and settled, and it's probably due to no steel, just like outside in the patio. So what we're gonna do, more than likely on this house, since there's no cracks back here, we're probably gonna remove and replace half of this garage, this slab. And then there's some cracks on the stem wall here, and we're gonna repair these with epoxy, like a structural epoxy. So that's it. That's from beautiful Riverside, California.